friend. We was walking down the street in the middle of the street, and we wasn't causing any harm to nobody. We had no weapons on us at all. We just walking, having a conversation. No cars were blowing at us or honking at us like we was holding up traffic or anything like that.
Walk us through what happened on Saturday. You and Michael Brown were walking down the street. So what happened next?
Like that. Now, a police officer squad car pulled up, and when he pulled up, these was his exact words. He said, "Get the F on the sidewalk." And we told the officer we was not but a minute away from our destination, and we was shortly be out the street. We was having a conversation, and he went about his way for about 1 or 2 seconds as we continued to walk, and then he reversed his truck, his car, and in a manner to where it almost hit us, and it blocked both lanes off the way he turned.
We're walking down the street. The squad car vehicle approaches us. Now we're on the side of the vehicle, and the officer says, "Get the out of the street," verbatim. It was his words. And at that moment, I told the officer, my friend Big Mike didn't speak. I told the officer that we was not but a minute away from our destination and that we would be out of the street. And at that time, me and my friend Big Mike started to walk again, and the officer, he seemed like he was driving off, but in a second, he put the car in reverse, and he reversed very rapidly at a fast pace. And he slanted the car to a manner that it almost hit me and my friend Big Mike, so we had to step back.
He pulled up on the side of us. He tried to thrust his door open, but we were so close to it that it ricocheted off us and it bounced back to him. And I guess that, got him a little upset. And at that time, he reached out the window. He didn't get out the car. He just reached his arm out the window and grabbed my friend around his neck and was trying to choke my friend. And he was trying to get away, and the officer then reached out and he grabbed his arm to pull him into the car. So now it's like the officer's pulling him inside the car and he's trying to pull away.
And we were now front center with the officer inside the vehicle, but we were so close, almost inches away, that when he tried to open his door aggressively, the door ricocheted both off me and Big Mike's body, and it closed back on the officer. At that time, he reached out the window with his left arm. He grabbed onto my friend Big Mike's throat, and he's trying to pull him in the vehicle. And my friend Big Mike, very angrily, is trying to pull away from the officer. And the officer now is struggling with trying to hold a grip on my friend Big Mike as he's trying to pull away.
And at no time the officer said that he was going to do anything until he pulled out his weapon. His weapon was drawn, and he said, "I'll shoot you," or "I'm going to shoot." And in the same moment, the first shot went off. And we looked at him. He was shot, and there was blood coming from him. And we took off running.
In a minute, I heard, "I'll shoot." I'm about to shoot. And I'm standing so close to Big Mike and the officer. I look in his window, and I see that he has his gun pointed at both of us. And when he fired his weapon, I moved seconds before he pulled the trigger. I saw the fire come out the barrel, and I instantly knew that it was a gun. I looked at my friend Big Mike, and I saw that he was struck in the chest or upper region, because I saw blood splatter down his side, his right area. And at that time, we both took off running.
As we took off running, I ducked and hid for my life because I was feared for my life. And I hid by the first car that I saw. My friend, he kept running. And he told me to keep running because he feared for me too.
Now, it was almost 2 or 3 minutes we was running, and I was able to hide myself behind the first vehicle that was up on the scene. And the officer then got out his car. My friend Big Mike was still running. He ran past me and saw me in plain sight. He said to me verbatim that, he said, "Keep running, bro." And he kept running.
So as he was running, the officer was trying to get out of the car, and once he got out the car, he pursued my friend, but his weapon was drawn. Now, he didn't see any weapon drawn at him or anything like that, us going for no weapon. His weapon was already drawn when he got out the car. He shot again, and once my friend felt that shot, he turned around and he put his hands in the air.
And I was so scared and feared for my life that my body was in shock. I couldn't move. I couldn't think at that time. And almost in an instant, my body started rising, and I see the officer proceeding after my friend Big Mike with his gun drawn. and he fired a second shot, and that struck my friend Big Mike, and at that time, he turned around with his hands up.
He started to get down, but the officer still approached with his weapon drawn, and he fired several more shots, and my friend died. He didn't say anything to him. He just stood over and he was shooting. By then, I was so afraid for my life, I got up and I ran.
Beginning to tell the officer that he was unarmed and to tell him to stop shooting, but at that time, the officer was firing several more shots into my friend, and he hit the ground and died. I watched him until his body stopped moving, and then I ran and vomited in my mouth, throwing up, hyperventilating, not knowing what to do. I just ran.